Doubles pickleball is played with a lot of strategy and nuance. It's more than just hitting the ball hard at your opponents. Slight changes in your movement, your court positioning, or even your communication could have a huge effect on the outcome of a rally or a game. In today's video, we're going to cover some very practical tips that could help you raise your pickleball IQ, avoid mistakes, and come out with a win. Let's get into it. Welcome to High Five Pickleball, where we help you play better, win more, and make the most of your time on the court. My name is Adam Richards, and in today's video, we're covering 6 tips that can help you improve your doubles strategy. We'll focus on things that you can do to apply pressure to your opponents and ways that you can avoid common mistakes that happen in doubles games. What is one pickleball tip that has changed your game recently? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to my 30-day series, be sure to check out The Path to Better Pickleball. It's totally free and comes with a downloadable guide and 10 step-by-step videos. Sign up today with the link in the description. All right, let's get into it. How you move as a team when you're not hitting the ball is essential to your strategy and setting up points in your favor. One common problem in doubles pickleball is when players are moved around the court by their opponents, and when they return a ball, they open up spaces on the court. The problem happens when they leave these spaces open, and those spaces become easy targets for opponents. One way to fix this is to practice shading. Shading is when you and your partner move as a team to cover the court during a rally. Shading ensures that the middle and the high percentage areas of the court are covered. A simple way to practice shading when you're at the net is to pretend that a rope is tied to your waist and to the waist of your partner. This imaginary rope will help you slide together, cover the court, and make sure that you cover the open spots on the court that your opponents want to hit to. In doubles pickleball, there are ways you can apply pressure on your opponent without even hitting the ball. One of those tactics is what I like to call the fourth shot slide. When you're the returning team and your opponent is hitting a third shot and your partner is moving up, you can slide over. There are 2 benefits with this tactic. Number 1, if the ball is attackable, you can hit down on the ball and keep your opponent's back. Number 2, this forces your opponent to hit to a smaller window on the court. One thing to remember about this tactic is that when you slide over to the middle, this opens up a shot down the line. While that down the line shot is a smaller percentage, this is something you have to watch out for and be prepared for. Another way you can apply pressure to your opponent without even hitting the ball is to crash the non-volley zone when your partner hits an unattackable third shot drop. It looks something like this. When your partner is hitting a third shot drop, watch their shot to be sure that it's not a pop-up. If the shot looks to be unattackable, you will move up to the non-volley zone with the ball. Just by moving up and taking up space in the non-volley zone, this applies pressure to your opponents. They can hear you and likely can see you move up out of their periphery. And if they're focused on you, they're likely not focused on hitting their next shot. One thing to remember is that this can be a risky decision depending on your partner's shot. So be ready for a potential speed up off of the bounce. Communication is a huge part of playing doubles pickleball, but it's often overlooked and under-practiced. Calling your shots is critical because it gives you and your partner clarity and saves you from any accidents that can happen when you're both swinging at the ball. Balls that land between you and your partner, generally speaking, have a greater need for communication and clarity. For example, on the third shot, if you're on the left side and the ball lands in the middle or slightly over the middle line, it's good to anticipate this ball and to call it. Generally speaking, the forehand drive or the forehand drop will be easier than the backhand. This is also the case for pop-ups in the non-volley zone when you're both at the net. Regardless of who your partner is or what your strategy may be, it's always a good idea to communicate and to call your shots. One really simple way you can help your partner and improve your chances of scoring more points is to call balls that are flying out of bounds. For example, If you're at the net and the ball is shoulder high coming to you or to your partner, let it fly. But also tell your partner when you see it happening. If you're at the net and you see your opponent use a big backswing, or if they're hitting up on the ball at the net, it's okay to anticipate an out ball and to warn your partner. Another common out ball is on serves and serve returns. If you're not hitting the ball, it's always good to be watching the ball to see where it lands so that you can call it out if it goes out. No one likes to set up their partner for an attack, but this happens. One way you can help your partner in these situations is to simply warn them. When you hit a high third shot drop or a dink that is attackable, tell your partner to watch out because this helps him or her prepare for a speed up or an attack. All right, before we end, I do want to share a really quick bonus tip with you. One of the themes in this video has been about applying pressure to your opponents. But how do you apply pressure to your opponents? How have you seen your opponents apply pressure to you? One thing to consider is to stay unpredictable. Make it impossible for your opponents to know exactly what you're going to do each time you hit the ball. A few practical ways to do this is to add new shots to your repertoire. So mix in lobs, for example, to your normal dinks. Or you could mix up your patterns. Never hit to the same place twice. Just by adding a little bit of unpredictability to your game can apply a lot of mental and physical pressure, and this can give you a competitive edge. All right, so there you have it. A few tips for improving your doubles strategies on the court and during rallies. If you enjoyed this content or learned something new, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update from High Five Pickleball. Thanks for watching.